All right, welcome back. Anyways, I think I've made a kind of a promise I would make more videos with this trailer than I did with the other ones. So yeah, it's time for another video because, as you can see, the body is sitting here, and it is up on basically landscape timbers. They're they're perfect. This holds it up in the air. I need to get underneath here. I started to work on the front. I've done a lot of sanding. As you can see, I removed the Surfside decals. There is a bunch of holes to patch here. Lots of rock chips. Just a ton of rock chips anyways. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to fix up the front here, and I got to go underneath and clean the underside of the trailer before I put the frame back under here again. I just want to make sure that it's all in good shape. And I believe where the body rests on the frame, there is some worn through parts, and I don't want any of that. So I'll be fiberglass patching those things. Looks like somebody did a fiberglass patch here on the front anyways. And then before I put the frame under, I'm going to put my rock guard on here. So it's a black, tough kind of a finish. I think I got the cans right here. I'll just show you the product I'm going to be using here. There we go. Gravel guard, it's called. I got that from Crappy Tire. So the other big thing here is this is my tongue box right here. It's a really good sized box. It's all welded. Okay, that's a nice box. The plans for this is I'm really hoping it holds a diesel heater. I'll cut a hole in it and I'll fish the heater hose through into the trailer. And the exhaust can go at the bottom on those heaters. I believe that's where the exhaust goes. And anyways, I should be able to set this up really nicely. And also, I'm hoping I can put the battery in here too. I have to wait and see how much heat that the heater produces inside this box. It's a nice box. It's pretty thin aluminum, but that's okay. It's all welded, so it's not going to leak. I don't even think it needs a gasket, but I think I might just put a bit of a gasket on the lid here, just to make sure that I keep the moisture out of it. So that's great. I got that when I was in Calgary the other day. Okay, I'm starting. This is the frame here. It is no axle on it. The axle's by the back door. The new axle's coming. Right now the frame is on its upside here. I've already started to cut the welds here. I got to cut the welds and take this whole hitch off. I've got a brand new hitch over here. So this, by the way, was the back bumper. It's not heavy enough metal for me. It's going to bend if I put a spare tire on there. So I removed the back bumper. Now I'm going to say these frames are really great. They are much stronger than a bowler frame. It's just the way they're put together. For starters, on a bowler frame, the axle's attached to the lower part of the frame, and when it steps up and goes to the back, that's just hanging there. Not on these trailers, okay? There is super amount of beefiness here involved between the two, and the axle goes here. So the axle is actually on the rear part of the frame. And then this part of the frame basically holds up the front of the trailer, and you're actually pulling it down the road with it. So when the frame steps back up again here, it's basically the same as this part. It steps up the same 3 inches. This is a cross member here at the back, It is under the floor, under where you sit. It adds a lot of strength. There you can see one of the holes where the bolts go through for the body. I'm going to be using galvanized carriage bolts. This trailer only had 4 holding it, holding the body on the trailer. I'm going to be increasing that. So, carrying on here. Okay, we talked about that, but this is where I've cut off the old bumper. I am trying to source either a piece just like the frame here, which is 3 by 1.5 or 3 by 2. I would have loved to have a 3 by 3 bumper, but whatever. It's not easy here. There's just one metal supply place, and they don't really want to sell me a 6-foot piece. So they're hoping to have some scrap for me when they finish doing a job. Anyways, waiting for the axle to come, or actually I gotta go pick it up, so when the axle gets here. But in the meantime, I have cleaned off the top of the frame here, and I just want to quickly show you the tools that I'm using here. This was one of them. It's kind of a paint removal, whatever, disc. And the other one, where did I put it? Right here. Okay, just a second. This is the main one I use, right here. And that is the wire brush on a grinder. And that is the most awesomest thing. I mean, you know, you want to get down to into corners and down to the paintable part of the frame. That's the way to go. And you can see the difference here between where I've been and where I haven't been. So once the frame is flipped over, I'll do the other side. I'm hoping to get the bumper and weld it on as well. And then I'll paint that side, and then we'll flip the frame back over again. And when the axles come, I just lift up the frame and I just slip the axle in underneath there and bolt it in place. I have to save the bolts, you know. Here they are here. So they won't come out of there, okay? They were obviously put in there before it was welded together, because there's no way them bolts are coming out of there. So anyways, that's okay. These are very good, like a heavy grade of bolt with a nylock nut on them. I'll just clean them up with a wire wheel on the drill once it's upside down, and we should be good. And then before I put the axle on, I'll probably put some anti-seize on there so that in the future somebody else can get the axle off. What's going to happen here at the front, other than replacing this, is this tray here, which I'm going to presume was for a propane tank. Could be for a battery too, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to cut this off here, and I'm moving it forward. I'm underneath, but moving it forward. So it'll be about here like this. And that'll be a good place to put a propane tank, because my box actually comes to about here. So I have to put another piece of angle iron in here so I can bolt the box down. Anyway, that's where I am now. Lots of work to do. It's going to be weeks and weeks, even before I get this frame back underneath the trailer. But as soon as the bottom of the trailer is ready, and as soon as the frame is completely ready, then I will be putting it back together before I do all the body work on the trailer. So that is the plan. The way it sits up here right now on these landscape ties, they're like 4x5. Anyways, it's a little precarious. I don't really want to be going in and out of the trailer, so I'd rather have the trailer down and on the frame to be doing that kind of work. So carry on.